Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is right here, everyone. Welcome back for more SP. It's a good day in the SP Nation. Mike Rinder and his wife, Christy, published a video just last night of them busting a Scientology PI who was following them. And the footage is incredible. I don't want to, their video is about 10 minutes long. I'm only going to share very small clips of it, and I'll provide some of the context myself, just so I'm not, hijacking their entire video here. So Mike and Christy started out by explaining that their son, who's 16 Christy's son, who's 16 years old, drives. He reported to them that he kept seeing this unusual vehicle parked in unusual places around the neighborhood. It's one of these developed neighborhoods where you sort of have to enter from one side and exit the other side. And, the roads kind of squiggle all over the place. I like a planned development. Everyone knows, all the neighbors know each other. Everyone recognizes all the cars. And this car would always be parked in a spot that's just not a real parking spot. And so not only did her son Shane call their attention to it, but then the neighbors started calling their attention to it and started sending them photos of the car and the license plate parked at different places around the neighborhood at different times. Okay, so that was the first time this vehicle showed up on their radar. So then what happened is, so they had this idea, this information that this car was out there. And so then Mike and Christy went to go run some errands, and they pull up to a light, and what do they see? But the exact car and license plate that has been reported to them sitting directly in front of them at the light. So let me pull up the timestamp on this one is 3:44. And let me show you that. Can you guys just let me know in the live chat that the sound is okay once I hit play on this thing?
This is one of the PIs that has been hanging out in a neighborhood. A neighbor pulled up behind him when he was parked in there and took a picture of him, same license plate, BPM J79. We came out from our house and he magically appeared. We're going to follow him for a bit and see what happens, where he goes and what he does.
Okay, good. So that is that clip. So then they go shopping. Because they're actually going shopping and not just keeping an eye on the PI, they lose track of the PI as they're leaving the parking lot of whatever the place they were shopping in. Mike has Christy do some evasive maneuvers and double back, and they end up catching the same vehicle continuing to follow them. This clip is very, very short, but I'll show it to you just for the hell of it at 5:58. Here we go.
Perfectly.
Boom. Okay. That was just the evidence that, yes, the guy was still there. It's not a fluke. It's not a coincidence. And the guy's being kind of evasive. Okay. So then on a later day, when they were leaving the house again to run some errands, as they're leaving their community, they drive by a church right near their house, and they see that car with that license plate posted up in the empty parking lot of the church facing the street. And this is where things get really exciting. Okay, so let me pull it up. It's at 6:39. Here we go.
In the empty church, pull up straight in front of him, sitting in the empty church parking lot.
By the way, guys, I have this playing on 1.5 speed. That's why it sounds a little funny.
Look, he's got to run. He's got to run.
Woo! He's making a break.
Look. We were onto him. He's hightailing
Get him!
out of here now.
Get him!
In a big hurry. Here we go. Christy, the lead foot, is going to pull up alongside him. Pull up alongside him. Wind down your window. He's going over the curb.
Woo!
Amazing.
God damn, it's the Wild West over there. Oh, holy shit. Okay, so let me see. Was that the last? That was probably the last clip from that video. Now, Mike went on to explain why in the world, after all this time, would Scientology PIs be following him right now? And he said that he believes this has to do with Leah Remini's lawsuit and the fact that David Miscavige is currently evading service in that lawsuit. And Mike threw back to a time, I believe it was in the 90s. I want to say early 90s, but I always get the timeline on this mixed up. I always forget when the Lisa McPherson Trust popped up in Clearwater, Florida. Anyway, 90s, early 2000s, doesn't really matter. The point of this story is when the Lisa McPherson Trust was a thing that existed in Clearwater, Florida. It was run by a guy named Bob Minton, a wealthy guy who'd never been in Scientology, but was basically bankrolling this effort to expose Scientology crimes and abuses and try to hold them accountable legally. And when David Miscavige was in town, he would not travel from building to building without first calling Mike Rinder and asking what the exact location of Bob Minton was. And if Mike couldn't give David Miscavige Bob Minton's exact location, if for any reason Scientology PIs had lost track of him, Miscavige wouldn't travel anywhere. So if they're like, hey, Dave's got to go to the movies, what's the location of Bob Minton? Only when they knew precisely where Bob was would Miscavige go anywhere. And Mike thinks that's just what's happening right now. That and this is why I showed this video to my kids, because Mike lives up in Palm Harbor. He doesn't even live in Clearwater. He lives 25 minutes north of Flag, which is Scientology's big organization in Clearwater, Florida. I live 3 minutes from Flag, and I have not seen any PIs following me. By the way, before I forget, I have to show 4 months ago, I busted a Scientology PI that had been surveilling me, my home, my family, my neighborhood for months and months and months. My neighbors never told me about it because they assumed I already knew. But when they did tell me about it, I was like, oh, you guys have to tell me the next time you see him because I want to bust him on camera. And that's a very short video. And it is my sincere pleasure to share that with you right now. Watch this. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Hey, what's your name, buddy?
Awesome.
Woo! Okay. Hold on. I don't know what the video is playing right now. Okay. Oh, geez. Look at me. Okay. After I busted that guy 4 months ago, I have not seen any other PI activity. I've had nobody report any other PI activity to me around my house, around the neighborhood, or anything. But I showed this video to my kids. I got 3 daughters, 16, 14, and 12. And I said, look, they're doing this to Mike right now. You got to be aware they're probably going to be doing it to us as well. Please keep an eye out. Guys. Scientology cannot help themselves. At the end of Mike's video, he pointed out the fact that they would do this while being sued for doing this just tells you everything you need to know about how the hell things work over there in Scientology bubble land. They cannot help themselves. They have to do this kind of stuff, if only to keep Miscavige from screaming about why do you guys never do anything and I have to do everything and you guys don't defend me and you guys don't care if I get taken down and you guys are a bunch of piece of shit, do nothing cocksuckers. That's how David Miscavige talks to you guys, not me. I'm a dignified gentleman. I don't speak that way. That's how David Miscavige speaks. So anyway, figured this little, and I actually don't even know how recently that happened. I don't know if was that just yesterday or was that maybe last week. I don't know. They didn't specifically say, but I do believe it was within the last week. And guys, they can't help but keep doing the shit that Leah Remini is suing them for doing. I love it. And that's actually just one of the reasons to even signal boost stuff like this as much as possible. Because when Leah's case ever gets in front of a judge and a jury, we want there to be so much freaking evidence that they still do this exact same stuff in present time. It's not ancient history. It's not 10 years ago. It's not back in the 70s when the Guardian's office was doing all this stuff. It's present time. It's today. It's nonstop. It will never change. They're not capable of change. unless maybe a civil jury in a civil trial finds billions of dollars of finds that they are liable for billions of dollars in punitive damages. Perhaps maybe then they will be able to restrain themselves. But I doubt it, you guys. This kind of behavior is baked into the DNA of the organization. I don't think it's capable of ever changing. I mean, certainly not under David Miscavige. I mean, at this point, like this type of activity is baked into the policies of the organization by L. Ron Hubbard, but David Miscavige really has made it his own. You know, he really has made it his own. By the way, it is the world's best moderator's birthday today. So happy birthday to Goldie. Wish Goldie a happy birthday in the live chat. Much more to come today, including a live interview that I'm supposed to start in 8 minutes, but I might have to hold back on that a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe.